BockTheBlacksHirtCompany.com. Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Fall is officially here, and Brown's Shoe Fit has just the right style and comfort your feet deserve. Stop in to see a wide selection of all your favorite brands, including Brooks, Hoka, Echo, Keen, and many more. At Brown's Shoe Fit, they take the time to measure your feet to ensure proper fit. They also have the largest selection of Uggs and Hokas in Lincoln. Brown's Shoe Fit at 66th and Q.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Here at Aspen Builders, our company is building more homes today than I thought we would ever build.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, I am just shocked at how strong our market is here in Lincoln and at Aspen Builders. We're probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt.
Terrell Farley. Defending Terrell Farley, who last week in his first start was a holy terror. Number 43.
And Jake Bockoven. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
All right, welcome to Bock and the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. It is Monday, November the 3rd, 2025. Such a beautiful day in Lincoln, Nebraska today. Oh, Bock, we got a lot to talk about, Bock. I'm okay. Time change, Bock. How you feel about the time change?
Hey, that was good, right? You got an extra hour of sleep in this time. Now waking up in the morning, it's bright. I don't have to. It's not so dark outside, so that's good. The reverse of that, of course, is going to be like dark by 5 o'clock tonight. But so far, so good. I think on the time change, I think it helped out this weekend. All right, Bock. Blackout was outstanding, Bock. Yeah. Outstanding. Everybody did a great job. I mean, you probably had 86,000 at the game, probably 85,000
were all black, Bach.
Yeah.
Besides the little part of USC fans and the old people that should wear black, but they didn't. I think the atmosphere was the best I've seen, Bach, in the last 10 years when we talk about this atmosphere, this blackout. I think it's a great thing to do. I mean, we didn't get the outcome we wanted, but at the same time, to see all Nebraska people come together and try to be on the same page, and it worked. And I kudos to everyone who participated in it. Kudos to the fans. Kudos to the university for doing it for this team.
Yeah, I think it was incredible. I mean, I would stop short of saying that I was mocking it because I wouldn't go that far, but I was very skeptical about how these people would get on board. There's a lot of talk this offseason and even entering this past week about, I'm still going to wear red. Red's my color, this and that. And that ended up being a very vocal minority because all of Husker Nation, pretty much like you said, looked like maybe 98% of them were dressed in black. And this blackout thing worked incredibly well. Looked good. The visual, I mean, the Nebraska kind of got good response as usual for being a great fan base. But that's maybe all we really have to yell and shout at the rooftops that we're one of the best fan bases in college football. But you proved it again, and it really is incredible. So hats off to Husker Nation, everybody getting on board. I was very skeptical that it was going to look nearly as good as it did. The black balloons, of course, just everything that went into it was incredible.
I never seen a visiting team bring their band to Lincoln. First time I ever seen that. They took up more room than what that visiting team parents usually sit there. They're a guest, but at this time it was the band, and I walked over there to that side. Big Ty says they should have a rule about visiting band playing the whole time. So next time it was annoying to them. They played the whole Bach. I walked over there. Dun, 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 dun. And they Trojan guy looks like he couldn't even fill out the uniform he was wearing.
They didn't bring the horse.
They didn't bring the horse, but that Trojan guy was terrible.
Yeah.
Bach, let's go before we really get into this game Saturday, Bach versus USC. Let's talk about some stuff. This game was winnable, Bach. It was winnable. We lost Dylan. I think he's gone for the year when you look at it.
Yeah.
But I have faith with the freshman leading the way. I mean, you gotta have faith. He wasn't ready. This shows that you must always have a second string quarterback prepared, Bach. When I say that is, you couldn't open up the playbook with Latif. You couldn't do this with him. You couldn't do that. So rep-wise, he didn't get ready for the game. He wasn't ready. You have to simplify your plays for him, and that's what we ended up with at the end of the game, Bach. For me, Bach, I thought this game was vanilla. I thought it was terrible play calling from us, from USC. From both teams, it was not a good game for me. Not leading up to the hype it supposed to lead up with. The only thing hype about this game, Bach, was the crowd.
Is that because of a lack of offense or
the excitement of the game was not. I mean, the play calling was not up to par. It wasn't like those usual Saturday night games you see. Like I said a long time ago. If we can held USC to under 28 points, we probably could win this game.
Yeah.
You held them to 21.
Yeah.
So you had your chances, but Lincoln Riley didn't call a great game plan for me. I didn't see it. Really got us with the trick plays. A couple of long-distance ball miles missed.
He's pretty pass-happy, which is not surprising.
Yeah, what he was, 8 for 23 or something like that. But
9 for 23.
9 for 23.
And they were running at will against Nebraska. Sometimes he would still choose to pass.
But at the end of the day, Bach, I think we could have won that game. We're going to go over some stuff you probably won't like. We're going to say some things you probably will like. So when I do say that, Bach, I'm not trying to be a Nebraska destroyer. I'm trying to talk as a football player who sees things that probably a fan won't see. We're going to go over that dirty play that people say was dirty. I don't think it was dirty. I watched it several times a little while ago. When you see it, whatever that guard, who's ever getting pushed back a little bit.
That's Turner Corkin, the tackle, actually.
Yeah, I'll say so. Turner Corkin gets pushed back all the way back. I seen that part. The guy comes from the side. Him and Dylan in the quarter, and the guy who makes the sack runs into Corkin and the other guy. And there's only one way to go, Bob. You're not going to go straight. And that's probably 400, 500 pounds in front of you, like a brick wall.
Yeah.
So the play ended like that because now I'm not saying it's Turner Corkin's fault, but it's football. It's football. You got to bring a guy down the best way you can. Yeah. I've jumped on guys' back, you know what I'm saying, to make sacks. You know, I hit from the backside. I had to jump on guys' back. I grabbed Danny Warfield one time. He was bigger than me, so I had to grab him and slang him a couple of times. So, you know what I mean? A lot of people understand the method of football when you're tackling, especially watch that play over more than once to see how it really turned out. And when you do see it, then you probably understand what I'm saying.
Well, and the hip drop tackle, of course, just recently banned in the NFL, and it's tough, like you said, you know, to do everything by the book, to get a tackle. You know, you might say one thing on paper, but when it's live action and you got, like you said, a wall of people kind of in the middle, you're trying to take the quarterback down really any way you can. So I didn't think that was a dirty tackle. It was Anthony Lucas, the USC defensive end, who got in there and for his, you know, for the sack that ended up again ending Dylan's career. Dylan's season, not career. He'll get surgery. We'll see him back out there. It'll be hopefully a triumphant return in a Husker uniform, but that won't be happening this year. But yeah, I mean, I didn't see anything dirty on it either.
Yeah, I didn't either. I think that when we as fans, and you know, I've been to a couple of Nebraska games, and we boo for every little thing that happens. Even if we're wrong, Bock, they're gonna boo. I mean, I've seen that. I've seen that Saturday. You know, we don't. I don't know how to say it, Bob, but it seems like the crowd is more crybabies than anything when we crying over nothing, the little things.
Well, it's interesting because, I mean, Matt Rule did ask this week to kind of, I mean, he even talked about a crowd yelling at the refs last week. We heard a little bit of that in this game. I didn't see a whole lot of people saying the refs are, you know, to blame for this loss whatsoever. I thought they did a good job as far as trying to stay out of the game as much as they could. If anything, you might be frustrated like Matt Rule was about Corcoran getting pushed over there late. Looked like a little bit of a flop to me during that drive where they used two timeouts and didn't get any points out of it. So, I mean, there's always going to be people that are going to react and be frustrated. But sometimes that's the job of the home crowd. Nebraska over the years has been, you know, and I've always kind of compared it to Nebraska football and Nebraska basketball. A little bit different of a crowd. The Nebraska football crowd known for kind of being a smart crowd, right? Where they're not going to generally pile on the refs. And I'm saying this beforehand. I know you got a different opinion on them now, but over the years, it was kind of like a smart crowd would celebrate or cheer for Ricky Williams when he would come off the field because he had such a great game and broke Nebraska's home winning streak back in the 90s. I mean, so over the years was kind of was called a smart crowd. The basketball, not always so much, but they'd get on the refs, right? They try to steer the game one way or the other. I think the football crowd is kind of leaning into that a little bit more. Asked not to be Nebraska nice. Mentioned the refs in the previous press conference leading up to this week. So maybe they were just taking instructions from their head coach this week to try to make it more, instead of being a smart crowd, being more of an intense environment that is putting pressure on the refs and the opposing team.
All right, Bock. Now, before we get started, Matt Rule is 0-8 now against top 25 teams here in Nebraska in his career. 2-26 in his whole career against top 25 teams. Nebraska itself is 0-30 in the last 30 games, Bock, against ranked opponents.
Is it 29 or 30? I thought it was 29.
It says 0-30. It might, hey, you can round it up. It doesn't matter, Bock.
Either way,
29 is 30 to me. So, you know, Bock, this since 2016 was our last one. We have to learn how to finish games, Bock, when we talk about football. For the last 3 weeks, we've seen this this play out as a strip and sometimes it works in Nebraska's favor, but not against the ranked teams. But if you look at the Northwestern game, it happened. If you look at the Minnesota game, that was out of proportion. But if you look at the Maryland game, it happens. We play to our potential a lot more. And then when we get in the fourth quarter, it seems like we don't, not saying execute, but we don't play with as much fire as we do in the first two quarters. I need that same fire in the fourth quarter that I'm getting in the first quarter, because that's what's gonna tell you the intel of the game. Now, I've seen some things that I didn't like on defense, Bock, and we're gonna talk about those. I've seen some things that I didn't like on offense, but we're gonna talk about those today. We're gonna see what we can do to get this team better for TJ Lateef moving forward. We have to put Dylan behind us now. I mean, he's a great quarterback, but right now we need to throw everything we got into this young man. I mean, this is from offensive coordinator to getting him caught up on the playbook, to getting him more comfortable, to get him the plays that work better. I think this is a chance to open up this offense a little bit more, because he's a runner. I mean, he's not afraid to run, and that he has an arm. His arm's not better than Dylan, but he has an arm. So we have to do the little things to make him better. VA, play action pass, bootlegs, have him out on the corner, rolling out a little bit more. You know, the little things. Because Emmett's going to be Emmett. We already know that. So let's go to break, and when we come back, we're going to go over the stat part of it, Bock, and then we're just going to talk football for right now. 93.7 The Ticket, Bock in the Black Shirt. We'll be right back.
Make your next event unforgettable with Grazing Gouda, your local artists and experts in charcuterie and grazed tables. From boardrooms to ballrooms, they turn gatherings into experiences with stunning spreads of artesian cheeses, cured meats, fresh fruits, and gourmet bites. Perfect for corporate luncheons, weddings, parties, or any celebration that deserves a wow moment. They handle the details. You take the compliments. Book your graze table today at GrazingGouda.com. Grazing Gouda, because every event deserves to be savored.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Here at Aspen Builders, our company is building more homes today than I thought we would ever build.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, I am just shocked at how strong our market is here in Lincoln and at Aspen Builders. We're probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
Fall is officially here, and Brown's Shoe Fit has just the right style and comfort your feet deserve. Stop in to see a wide selection of all your favorite brands, including Brooks, Hoka, Echo, Keen, and many more. At Brown's Shoe Fit, they take the time to measure your feet to ensure proper fit. They also have the largest selection of Uggs and Hokas in Lincoln. Brown's Shoe Fit at 66th and Q.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay. Playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to Bock the Blackshirt. Here on 93.7 The Ticket. We're on 1 to 3 every day, Monday through Friday. All right, Bock. Where do we go now, Bock? Where do we go now? What does this mean for Nebraska offense? TJ Lateef will start the rest of the way. What does this mean for us?
Well, hopefully it means a lot more than what we were able to see there on a Saturday night. I mean, the offense came in, it looked discombobulated. So I think you pointed to it earlier. They've got to get him more ready. But again, he comes with a different skill set than Dylan Raiola does. He can move on the ground. You're talking about maybe rollouts, certainly more RPOs where the running threat could be the quarterback. You can do more read options. So it can open up the playbook, but I don't know if he's ready for that. In my mind, you load up a little bit more, and if you can, I mean, he's already touching the ball 30 times a game. But you win and lose this game, these next couple of games with Emmett Johnson. I think that he now turns and already has turned into the focal point of this offense. So now a little bit of a running threat back there in the backfield alongside him could be a little bit of a headache for opposing defensive coordinators to face. We just got to make sure it's up to snuff, right? Because that outcome, same thing I said with the Minnesota loss when you lost 24-6. You play like that, you're going to lose in every game. If they have the same offense they did here with Lateef coming into that game, they're going to lose every game out. But I don't expect that. I expect it to look a little bit better with a little bit more planning going into it.
Rosebud from Elwood says he could be great as long as we protect him. His style resembles Lamar Jackson. TJ is good. I believe in him. I believe in this young man too. And the certain things you have to see is that we probably have to change some of the stuff we do on offense because of his playing style. I mean, we could do a lot of stuff with this kid. You can go shotgun, you can go RPOs, Bock. You know, it's different things. It probably could open up a lot better for Emmett having that double threat back there to help Emmett out instead of everybody concentrating on Emmett. Now, we play UCLA this week down there in what they call that stadium, Bock?
The Rose Bowl.
The Rose Bowl. So we guess they'll leave Wednesday. 3-hour flight, get them used to it. But at the same time, Bock, this is all about TJ Lateef right here when we talk about this kid, because we have to it means we have to be ready. Bone 67 says it means the offensive coordinator needs to open the playbook. They can't be scared. You're right. We can't be vanilla like we was the last quarter of that game, Bock. I think when we look back at that game, we relied too much on Emmett and didn't try to get him positioned to win the game. I mean, I'm talking about Lateef. I mean, it was a vanilla cause in the end of the game, but at the same time, you got to understand why Hogerson would do that, because he's a freshman, and plus he hasn't played probably since the Houston Christian game. That's a long time.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I think sometimes, you think back to Luke McCaffrey when he was here. They would when they would like his or his freshman year, they would run like 2 or 3 plays. I mean, he might not have all that many plays ready to run this week. If you get your backup prepared for, just a few of them, like to your point, they could have done a little bit better job getting him ready, but you also don't want to throw too much at him. You want to run what you do run effectively, right? And not, so it's one of those things like, how many plays do you want him to know? How many plays do you really trust in him to be able to execute out there? It's got to be more than what they had prepared for this game in his package, obviously. But in my mind, and again, you might call it vanilla. You might not love that there's not a whole lot exciting that went on. Obviously, it didn't work, so that's part of the problem too. But in my mind, you've got Emmett Johnson, you've got a running game, you got a defense that is been pretty good, at least holding opponents into the 20s. They're just coming off the number 1 team there in total offense in USC and holding them to 21. In my mind, I don't mind getting a little bit more vanilla, not necessarily in that you won't call, offensive game plans, have a play here that might the defense might not see coming. But this is no longer a team in my mind with Latif until he proves otherwise. Maybe you go out in UCLA and you run a vanilla game plan, and you score 38, and then all of a sudden, okay, well, now you can kind of put more on his plate. But until proven otherwise with these teams, I think Nebraska has to load up on the ground game, try to win time of possession, and lean on their defense to get these victories. We'll see if that's what they go to. Again, it's kind of what they've been going to a little bit more the past couple games anyway. And so I think with a new addition at quarterback, or a switch at quarterback, a freshman, a guy who was in high school at this time last year, I think that's probably the game plan I would go with.
Yeah. When we talk about this TJ Latif thing, Bock, they have to lean on Emmett a little bit more, but you're going to get in situations where you have to throw the ball, Bock. I mean, I understand that Emmett, he's now the Big Ten leading rusher right now. I think he has 1,002 yards. Probably consider making a jump to a first team Big Ten, making a jump for All-American stuff at the end of the season. But at the same time, we have to get this young man right here ready to go. This game is not going to come down to Emmett. It's going to come down to how TJ Latif prepares for this game. How much mentally prepared is he? How much did Dana Holgerson get him ready for this thing? I like what Eric McFarland said on YouTube. He said, I just hope he can read defenses. Now, that's what it comes down to, Bob, because when you see these younger quarterbacks out, they channel their throws a lot, and they easily get picked off if you're channeling your throw before you even make it.
Yeah, and I mean, again, that's going to be the challenge. I mean, everybody loves TJ Latif, right? Before this, this output, he's going to be the next coming of whoever, right? Lamar Jackson, as he was compared to earlier. Now you see it's a little bit harder when you're not playing Akron and Houston Christian, and you're playing a legitimate Power 4 defense. It's going to be more difficult. And so, again, how much do you put on his plates? How much does he know of the offense? How much can he run it? Again, to my point, Nebraska's thrown for over 200 yards. At least Dylan Raiola has thrown for over 200 yards in one of the last 5 games. So I do think they've already been leaning in toward a little bit more of ground and pound. And that's, I think to good results in each of the last couple of games with Emmett Johnson, and whether you call it ground and pound one way or the other, getting him the ball, close to 30 times a game. I think you got to continue with that. I don't know why you would make the change here. Again, with the added opportunity, maybe you take 5 or 6 carries away from Emmett just by having Latif do it. Are there going to be times when he has to pass? Absolutely. But I don't know how much they're going to, drop back and have him break down defense. This is the other thing. You might tell him 1-2 reads and run, or something like that. Just to kind of simplify it for him. If it's not open, he does have the legs to make something out of it.
Bock, what happened to the receivers the last couple of games? I mean, if you look at things how we see it, Bock, that Isaiah Hunter he caught 5 passes for 30 yards. Corey Barney, 3 passes, 6 yards. Dane Key, 2 passes, 23 yards. Luke Lindenmeyer, 2 passes, 23 yards. Emmett Johnson, 2 passes, 1 yard. Heinrich, 1 pass, 1 yard. This is for 98 yards, Bob. Well, and I know that we are a better team today. It seems like the last couple of games we are getting lost with the receivers not getting open. Maybe we need to shorten the routes up a little bit more, bunch them together or something, run trips, because we have so much talent at receiver that the last couple of games is not making sense to me because we haven't seen them get open like that.
Yeah, again, I think part of that is the game plan kind of designing into running the ball a little bit more, so less opportunity there. The other thing is, is acknowledging Nebraska's weakness to a degree at this point. You can't complain on one hand over and over and over again that Dylan Raiola is getting sacked 5, 7, 9 times a game, and then want them to go out there and pass it, 30, 35 times a game. They've adjusted, so I do think the receivers' numbers are going to come down because of that. Dane Key, certainly, he had a drop there, but I mean, that's a pretty effective 2 catches for 23 yards or whatever it was. Yeah, you want to get more out of it, but it was a heck of a touchdown catch that he had. And then, of course, it happens every week is the play that should have been, right? Everybody kind of points out to the Latif fumbled snap that he had, and Ja'Cory Barney was wide open, and they had some blockers in front of him on a wide receiver screen. So it's just kind of you got to get these guys an opportunity. To your point, though, I mean, especially Barney is a guy that's had a few 100-plus yards games. I mean, we all know, we've seen it already with Ja'Cory Barney even coming into the year. This guy can be a real threat. Now, you look at the last 3 games, he's got a total of 20 yards on 7 catches. So you got to try to get him the ball a little bit more. These receiver screens, again, probably among Nebraska's best potential opportunities to kind of break them open. But this is not a line that Nebraska, well, one way or the other. Again, I how much you want to put it on the line, how much you want to put it on Dylan, how much you want to put on Emmett. Emmett had another couple plays there, and specifically the one where Dylan got hurt that was not great in pass protection. So their pass protection is just not all that great. And again, I think that's going to limit what your receivers can do. You could try to get them the ball in short, kind of short yardage situations, but that's also where they are short passes, I should say. They've also not been great when they do get the ball. Got to make a man miss. Nebraska receivers on their own, you talk about getting open, but also making a man miss, breaking a tackle. Haven't seen enough of that this year either.
Yeah, you're right about that, Bock. Now we have another late game this week, Bock. Fox, 8 p.m. California time. What is that to us?
Well, it's 8 p.m. here, yeah.
8 p.m. here.
Yeah.
So that's like what? Probably 4 their time?
Like 5, yeah.
5 their time. Another late game, but we'll have to get over it. All right, let's look at the rushing stats, Bock. Emmett Johnson, 29 for 166, 65 net, 1 touchdown, 5.7. TJ Latif had 6 for 26, 8-yard loss, 18 total, 3.8 yards to carry. The rest of them is pretty good, but Dylan Raiola, 10 for 15, 91 yards, 1 TD, 1 sack. TJ Latif, 5 for 7, 7 yards. That's 7 yards. That's the point that gets to me. Like, we have no, what'd you say, drive in it at passing? Like,
that's, I mean, those are short passes that again, you need somebody to make a play after catching the ball. They didn't, I think between the two of them, they did have maybe 4 attempts over 20 yards. I saw the stat earlier, and no completion. So, I mean, part of it is if you're going to take your shot, you just got to be able to hit it. Again, people have varying levels of frustration with this game. In my mind, obviously the second half offensive output was borderline pathetic, right? But it that goes along with Dylan Raiola getting hurt. But as far as the game plan, again, as I've been saying, and you might have caught on by now, I like how they kind of ran the ball and focused around that. You try to get the passing game going. They really couldn't. Obviously, the offense was all but inept once Raiola went out. I mean, even you go to even the final drive, they took over with it had like 96 yards to go. I don't know where it exactly was, but longer than 90 yards to go with 96 yards to go with 3:27 left on the clock. They ran 3 plays and got about out to the 22-yard line, something like that, before the 2-minute timeout. So there's a lot to work on. I'm not saying there isn't, but as far as just philosophically, I do think they got to lean a little bit more into run. The offensive line, that's one thing that people aren't talking about maybe enough, was very beat up going into this game and then got even more beat up throughout it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to put more on that. And to their credit, again, one way you could say they don't do well in pass protection, and that's true, but they only allowed 1 sack this game. Again, that's a lot different than how they allowed 5, 7, 9 as we'd seen before. And then the other part about that offensive line that everybody complains about a lot is you do have a 1,000-yard rusher. You're the only Power 4 team with a 1,000-yard rusher. There's only 2,000-yard rushers out there right now. So I don't mind some of the game plans, some of the short passing stuff, all of that, and the vanilla, as you call it. Might not be flashy, might not be exciting, but to me, the strength of this team now is very clearly running the ball in defense. So you can lean into it. You don't try to run the ball and play defense and win 45-38.
Yeah, you're right. I guess you're right, Bob. Never been in a shootout situation. But let's go over USC stats, Bob. When you look at USC, King Miller, outstanding redshirt freshman, man. 18 carries, 129 yards, 16 long, 7.2 yards a carry. Consistently. Through the whole game, Bob. And this is the part that I don't like to get on part, because I'm going to be right about what I say about our defense when I get to them at this point. Jaden Malvo, 11 carries, 62 yards, 5.6 yards a carry. Passing wise, they held them in check. 9 for 23, 135, 3 sacks. Receiving, what's his name? Mekhi Lemons. He didn't do anything similar to the game he had last year with 2 catches.
That's no small feat. That guy is probably going to be an All-American this year.
Yeah, but when you look at it though, Bach, they wasn't. It was just something about the play call. It's just something how USC started off. I mean, they started out 2 straight 3-and-outs. Really didn't get comfortable passing the ball, but when they ran it with efficiency. They ran it tough. They ran it hard. They did some things that I seen that we should have been able to stop, but we didn't because of the people being out of position wise. When I talk about that, when we look at the punt, Archie Wilson 37.5, 2 inside the 20. Who else? Then we have Mr. 52-yarder in the third quarter, which I think was a good shot to go at it. I mean, I'm not faulting you for not going for it, but you did a good job trying to get 3 off the board on that one.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, and that's been much debated. And obviously the problem with that drive to me, it continues to be the 2 timeouts that they blew on the drive. One on a 4th and 1 where you line up. You already had it. You had taken a timeout on that drive, seemingly to argue with the refs even more, which didn't help the cause. And so they already blew a timeout where they shouldn't have. Then they get into the 4th and 1 situation. Call a timeout, maybe cooler heads prevailed there and go out there for the field goal attempt. Now you really want to hit it from there, especially when you end up getting 0 points out of a drive where you had 2 timeouts going off the board there. But to that point in the game, in the third quarter, I should say, the offense really was struggling. So yeah, maybe they could have got it, and maybe they could have gotten a closer field goal. That's always a possibility too. But to me, you're up 14-8. You have an opportunity to extend that beyond a 1-possession game. You take that chance. You've got a guy that's hit 50-yarders before. Maybe it's a little bit cold. I mean, all these things can kind of factor in. But I thought it was a good attempt. Just didn't get the result they wanted.
I think people need to realize, Bach, that this isn't the end of the world because Dylan Raiola is hurt. I mean, this team right here needs to rally behind this young man. They need to rally as a team. There need to be other guys who step up, mouth-wise. I mean, somebody has to lead this team. I mean, I think we given too much leadership to one person that the other people don't understand who needs to step up right now. I mean, as a group, this whole team needs to step up. I mean, you lost one of your guys who commands that offense. Now you have somebody you have to get behind, and this is not the end of the season. You still have you have a chance to win out. I mean, you're just not gonna have that bowl game. I mean, that playoff spot that we talked about. I mean, the season's not over, but at the same time, I think we need to they just need to. All right, we lost somebody. I mean, it's always next guy up. This isn't the only place that this has happened at Bock. It's happened at other schools. It happened when you see last year when Indiana starter went down. And Curtis, what his name was? Ronick?
Curtis Rourke.
Who stepped in for him?
I can't remember his name, but yeah.
Didn't lose a beat. Didn't lose a beat.
Yeah.
And so we have to get that mentality in us that we still can win, but we're just gonna have to win in different ways. You still could be the same Nebraska, put up the same numbers, but you got to do it in a different fashion with a different quarterback. With now we facing dilemma at the offensive line. We have to get them back right. Rocco Spindler is out there giving his all. I think Elijah Pritchard is the best offensive lineman we have. I mean, he has a sore ankle. It took him a minute to get used to this. But at the same time, on this offensive side, I think if they just come together as one big unit and believe in each other, that they can go down here and get this done in UCLA Saturday.
Yeah, they certainly can. Again, into the text line, somebody says, thank you, Farley IQ Crew says, thank you, Blackshirt, for bringing hope, peace, and promise toward the future. While the other shows have been acting like Chicken Little this morning, the sky is not falling. Again, it is, it kind of deal with the data that you have. I agree with you. I mean, I think they certainly got a chance in these final 3 games and in a bowl game that they've already clinched. But I think to the people's frustration is, again, if the offense looks like it did once Raiola went out this past game, then you're not going to win any of those 3 games. So but I agree with you. I mean, I think once we kind of settle it in, you're still on Monday, right? We got to build
a long week of practice. I mean, I'm not. When I talk about past things, this is different from with the Tommy and Brooke thing. Tommy went down, Brooke was able to come in. I mean, you have to believe in this quarterback. You have to believe that Dana Holgerson would do the things he needed to do this week to get this kid ready. I mean, it showed Saturday that this kid wasn't ready to play. I mean, we can't fault him because now you see the importance of reps, what they mean to younger guys. Especially for him to be a second-string quarterback, Bock, they're supposed to get all the reps. But like I said, now we have to get them ready. We as a whole need to rally behind this team and get them ready. I mean, I've been in situations where we lost these games like that, not at Nebraska, but in junior college, in high school, and in Canada. I've been on teams like this where you have to really rally as a team instead of as one. I mean, you still got 3 games to go, Bock. Let's finish it on a high note. I mean, you want to win all 3 of them. You want to go 6 and you want to go 9-3. So it's possible. Not saying that the sky isn't falling. Football still has to be played, not just by one person. As 21 other guys on the field.
Yeah, a lot of the goals still out in front of them. One thing I thought was kind of funny, Bill and Bennett says the thing I hated most about this game was the TV announcer saying it's Miller time, referring to King Miller. My group of guys that I was watching with, we all kind of looked at each other because at one point in the broadcast, the announcer was like, they like this about as much as they love Chili's. And we all kind of looked at each other like, when's the last time you've been to Chili's? Are we specially known for liking the restaurant Chili's? I don't necessarily know if that's the case. That must have been a nice little product placement in there. But
Chili's, the restaurant?
Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
Chili's,
I'm fine
baby, back ribs.
Nothing against Chili's. I just don't know if it's like a hot spot in Nebraska for Chili's.
I didn't know Chili sold Chili's, did it? Did it?
Yeah, they do. I think they do. I haven't been there in years.
Last time I went there, I had wings and ribs. So, hey. Who knows? 93.7 The Ticket. Bock the Blackshirt. We are powered
by
Bauer.
Infrastructure.
Bauer.
Underground.
Brad. Excavating. 93.7 The Ticket. We'll be right back.
Fall is officially here, and Brown's Shoe Fit has just the right style and comfort your feet deserve. Stop in to see a wide selection of all your favorite brands, including Brooks, Hoka, Echo, Keen, and many more. At Brown's Shoe Fit, they take the time to measure your feet to ensure proper fit. They also have the largest selection of Uggs and Hokas in Lincoln. Brown's Shoe Fit, 66th and Q.
Make your next event unforgettable with Grazing Gouda, your local artists and experts in charcuterie and grazed tables. From boardrooms to ballrooms, they turn gatherings into experiences with stunning spreads of artesian cheeses, cured meats, fresh fruits, and gourmet bites. Perfect for corporate luncheons, weddings, parties, or any celebration that deserves a wow moment. They handle the details. You take the compliments.
Book your graze table today at grazingouda.com. Grazing Gouda, because every event deserves to be savored.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Every home is different. Every family is different. So when it's time for a new heating and cooling system, why not get what fits you best? Get the perfect fit with Bryant. Maybe you need higher efficiency, better humidity control, increased warranty, or all the bells and whistles. Bryant provides options in warranty, features, comfort, and efficiency while maximizing savings. Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing, 467-1111, or visit BryantLincoln.com. Bryant, whatever it takes.
There's always a new experience to be had at Arbor Day Farm in Nebraska City. From events, adventures, wine tastings, or the Discovery Ride, you can never get tired of seeing what the property has to offer. Make a weekend out of it by staying at the Lead Lodge and enhance your stay with their special packages that include luxurious treatment. Learn more or book your adventure today online at arbordayfarm.org.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
We're back here on Bock the Blackshirt on 93.7 The Ticket, breaking down Nebraska's most recent loss, 21-17 to USC. Certainly plenty more to go through with myself and Terrell Farley, the All-American. Jumping in studio here with me as usual. Terrell, throw it back to you.
All right, Bock, let's talk a little defense, man. We gave up 135 yards passing, 200 yards rush, 202 yards rushing. So we're looking at what, 337 or something like that?
Yeah, I think it was 327. I'll double check.
327. Let me see. I'm right here. Yeah, 337.
337. Okay.
337 total offense to 286. Rushing, Bock. Let's go to the pass defense. Play great. I think sometimes when you have those great passing offenses that this defense steps up to the occasion. Probably the whole season. I mean, when you look at ranking wise, I think you have to give Addison, what's his name? Addison Williams. What's the DB coach?
Yeah.
Coach Addison.
Williams,
you have to give him his credit. He got those guys ready. Now, the part about this defense that I don't like, Bock, I'm gonna have to say it, is we're undersized up front. I think when we have guys out of position, it's starting to show a lot now. When we talk about losing containment for the last 4 or 5 games, it's beginning to be a problem. Not just from McCullum. If you see on both sides, it happens on both sides, not just one side. Tackling was a lot better this game. You hate to see a guy like Jaden Malvo run those little option plays and score on them and be able to have success with it. And that comes from getting sucked down in the line. I mean, that's been one of our things that's been happening to us all year when we talk about this, losing containment, being out of position, being overmatched. It's just, I think when we go to the offseason, we have a lot that we have to look forward to up front. I mean, you have to go to the transfer portal. You have to get bigger. I mean, you probably have the guys you want, but as a whole, that's not gonna last up here in the Big Ten when we talk about this. I mean, it's shown for the last couple of weeks, Bock. What does Nebraska rank in rushing defense? When we look at that part, I mean, we always talk about the good in the passing defense. We have to also talk about the bad part of it is the rushing defense. And I have to say that this is probably one of the worst rushing defenses that I've seen at Nebraska in a couple of years. When I say that.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with you too much there. It's obviously been a problem for Nebraska all year long is this rushing defense. I will say this. It's kind of interesting that the game plan altogether, and Lincoln Riley said it, is that they were daring them to run, right? And part of that is to shut down that pass defense. So it's interesting philosophically. I think that this, where Coach Butler's strengths do kind of, go back to his days as a secondary coach, especially with the Buffalo Bills. So maybe you kind of think that that's what he wants to take away first. But that's not a bad game plan against USC. Now, you'd never want to give up 200 yards rushing, but to hold the number one offense in the nation to 337 is quite a win, actually, for Nebraska's defense. And they made him do something. The other thing is you made him do something they're not used to doing. Jaden Maiava is not much mobile. We saw that, but not much of a running quarterback. This was by far the most yards that he had ran in his college career. So you kind of dared him to be able to do that. That option they ran, the speed option on fourth down, was really disheartening, obviously, with Nebraska's past with the option. So you give Lincoln Riley a little bit of credit for the guts to make that call. And they had a few plays. I always will go back to this too. Matt Rule has said it all week. He said at the halftime, as good as Nebraska played on defense, Lincoln Riley finds ways to score. And they found a few trick plays. You think specifically about the 2-point conversion, which tied up the game, the big passing play they had down the field, I believe, to Richardson on kind of a, running play back, throw back to the quarterback. I mean, they just had enough offensive wizardry, if you will, from Lincoln Riley to scratch out a win here. Now, to your point, though, I mean, the rushing defense, one way or the other, you're not going to be happy with. Containment certainly a problem in keeping Jaden Maiava as less of a threat as they could. I will say this, and it's not much better considering the situation. He gave up 200 yards rushing, is that they didn't break him off. I mean, that's been really the Achilles heel for Nebraska's defense all year. Part of the reason this game doesn't look more like maybe the Michigan game is they didn't have 2 or 3 big long runs, but so none of them over 20 on the day, actually, for USC's rushing attack, but it was that consistent attack that they even struggled to stick to, right? I mean, Lincoln Riley and USC like to pass the ball. They kind of went to that more often maybe they should, considering the success on the ground game. But if it means anything to you, at least they didn't give up the big gigantic runs.
Well, you got to understand, 10 of those rushes were for over 10 yards, Bock. If you look at that, and I said that, even the first play of the game, it was a 5-yard run, and I think when you give up those many yards, that you have to put in consideration that you're going to give up the first down. But this is a defense I know that can play. I mean, like I said, up front, we need to do something a little better to help these guys out, especially in the run department. And I hate to take, and one thing I do hate to talk about is ranking, Bock. Like, number 2 defense, you lose 2 games, so you have to stop with the rankings and just play your game. I mean, you know what you're good at. I think we need to give them more help up front. Just look at what UCLA is probably going to do this week. They're probably going to load the box up, try to make us beat them with the pass. So, then you have to worry about Nico Liamaya. Did I get it right?
Liamaya.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
Nico.
Yeah, Nico. So you have to now you got to get ready for Nico, a guy who runs RPO, a guy who's gonna run. A guy who's gonna try that. I mean, you look at this team. I mean, they got the brakes beat off of them a week ago, but they had a week to come back and get ready for you. Now you're missing Dylan. They practice all week for Dylan. Now they have to switch up things and try to get ready for TJ Lateef. Now, that's probably going to be the easy part for them, they think. So you need to play more aggressive football with them and try to really just let Emmett lead the way for a couple of quarters in this game.
Yeah, we'll see how they do it. And the approach to UCLA will certainly be interesting. I think Nico is their leading rusher on the year, but it's not like he's breaking off 200 yards per game. But this rush defense, Nebraska, has given up some career highs and all that stuff. And you saw that again with Jaden Mayava here. So I do think that is interesting. I do, I get it. You might, one way or the other, you're looking at wins and loss columns, but I do think we need to give this defensive back crew and the secondary a lot of credit, and even the rush up front. They did a good job of applying pressure. Sometimes, again, that would be at the cost of kind of breaking contain, and might run out there. But I mean, we've been talking about it all year long. Is okay. They might be number 1, 2, or 2 in the nation in passing defense, but who have they played? You don't get a bigger test than the number 1 total offense coming in here, and to limit Lincoln Riley's offense, an absolute wizard of an offensive coach who's had 3 Heisman Trophy winners at quarterback, to the lowest passing number that they've had in his career, dating back to 2017 in Oklahoma. I mean, hats off to them. And you're seeing guys, kind of break out, right? We've known about Sierra Wright. He did a fantastic job. Of course, has moved inside to the nickel cornerback position here throughout this season. Was a big part in shutting down Mekhi Lemon, who will be an All-American, was otherwise invisible basically on the field in this game. Then you look at some of the emerging pieces earlier on in the season. Andrew Marshall, that's who they would attack because they didn't want to throw it at Sierra Wright. Andrew Marshall got his pick there. I mean, he looked fantastic. Donovan Jones, who at times has also been kind of picked on, had one of the best PFF grades in the nation. I mean, you can say what you want, but you've been saying all
year. He threw the ball right at him, Bock. Bad throw.
It was. I mean, but he zoned in. I mean, he caught his eyes.
You're
he
right.
got it early.
You're right.
Yeah.
Sometimes quarterback makes mistakes, Sometimes, but it was a good play.
I think Andrew Marshall was throwing it like 10 times and had a pick and maybe 1 catch on him, though.
Yeah. Well, pretty good.
Pretty darn good, I will say.
Pretty good. I think let's just go to break and we're gonna listen to some Matt Rule and come back. And I got a question. I don't know if I want to say it now. I'll say it when we come back from the break. Maybe me and you gonna talk about it for a minute and see if the question should be said or not.
All right.
93.7 Ticket, Bock in the Black Shirt. Be right back.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Every home is different. Every family is different. So when it's time for a new heating and cooling system, why not get what fits you best? Get the perfect fit with Bryant. Maybe you need higher efficiency, better humidity control, increased warranty, or all the bells and whistles. Bryant provides options in warranty, features, comfort, and efficiency while maximizing savings. Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing, 467-1111, or visit BryantLincoln.com. Bryant, whatever it takes.
There's always a new experience to be had at Arbor Day Farm in Nebraska City. From events, adventures, wine tastings, or the Discovery Ride, you can never get tired of seeing what the property has to offer. Make a weekend out of it by staying at the Lead Lodge and enhance your stay with their special packages that include luxurious treatment. Learn more or book your adventure today online at arbordayfarm.org.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
I can't believe I just scratched that card. Find my insurance card.
Dude, what do you have in this glove box? Ew, are these socks dirty?
Oh, forget about the socks. I need my insurance card.
Just pull it up on the State Farm mobile app.
But I can do that? Oh, hey, I can do that.
Yep, it's called service.
I can file a claim on here too?
Yeah, it's called service.
Whoa, I can call my agent too?
It's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krikak, today at 402-474-1173.
Here at Aspen Builders, our company is building more homes today than I thought we would ever build.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, I am just shocked at how strong our market is here in Lincoln and at Aspen Builders. We're probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt.
Terrell Farley. Defending Terrell Farley, who last week in his first start was a holy terror. Number 43.
And Jake Bockoven. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
Welcome back to Bock the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. Bock, let's do something a little different before we listen to Matt Rule. Let's talk about our pick'em games this week. I know that there were some very good games. There were some games we missed. I'm going to take my chance to tell you about one game that I probably should have stayed with, but I went away from it. Jeff Sims.
Whoa.
Man, did you see Jeff Sims this weekend?
I did.
Who did they play this weekend? They played
Iowa State.
Iowa State. Now, I'm going to get this up. I'm trying to get it up. Jeff Sims. Now, this is not the same Jeff Sims, Bock, that we had. This is same Jeff Sims that made a lot of mistakes. He did turn the ball over, Bock, but when we look at this, Jeff Sims is the AP Player of the Week.
Yeah.
If you look at it, Jeff Sims set Arizona State quarterback rushing record with 228 yards, Bob.
Rushing, yeah.
Rushing. He still had 2 fumbles that he lost.
Sounds about right.
He still had an interception, but he led his team to victory. Now, we talking about a Iowa State team that everybody was hyped on, an Iowa State team that came in here and stole 8 guys from Omaha. This Iowa State team we talk about that everybody talks was better than Nebraska.
Well, they started off pretty darn good this year. They're kind of right back. I mean, Matt Campbell's team sometimes do this. I think they're on a 4-game losing streak now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not very good. Not very good.
No, it started off 5-0. They're now 5-4. So
yeah, 4-game losing streak. I ought to call Jay Jackson and say, hey, how you like that part? You keep talking and printing about Iowa State this, Iowa State that. They lost 4 in a row. Good job, Iowa State.
But I mean, to the Jeff Sims things, it's just like the football gods love to just poke us, right? I mean, they every chance you get, especially former quarterbacks. We all know about the Joe Burrow story. Is he better than what we got? Then Adrian, of course, leaves here, goes and wins the Big 12 title, and is the UFL MVP, wins a championship there. Now on the week, Nebraska finally needs a backup quarterback. Who is it but Jeff Sims to pop out and become the AP Player of the Week, despite not having done anything really since he left here? He had started a few games for Arizona State and lost them. So a lot of people are kind of expecting more of the same here. Had an 88-yard run in that game that really kind of started to swing things for the Sun Devils, who needed that win. Now 6-3. But it's just, I would have never seen this coming, because I hate to say this, because it sounds kind of mean, but I don't mean this to be mean. I mean this in sincerity. Clearly, he's better than what he showed at Nebraska. How much better, you can argue one way or the other, but obviously, when he never ran for 228 228 at Nebraska, he's the worst quarterback I've seen in Nebraska uniform as far as the Nebraska career goes. 1 touchdown, 6 picks, fumbles left and right. His 1 touchdown was on a gadget play to begin with. It was horrible for one way or another. It just never looked anywhere close to resembling a sustainable possession that you could get going. And to kind of continue, like I said, the football gods, a sick joke on Nebraska football. The week that we would have could have used a backup quarterback. I don't know if he would have stayed in Lincoln for these last couple of years. I don't even know how the guy has eligibility left. This is like his 6th year in college football. But the one weekend maybe we could have used Jeff Sims, he goes off.
Yeah, Bock. And here's my thing before we talk about Matt. I think Matt Rule needs to probably really I wouldn't say apologize, but be upfront with his team. Like, he's been a distraction for probably the last 2-3 weeks for this team, Bock. And it needs to be, not saying addressed, but okay, guys, we really need to concentrate on football. We had the Penn State talk. Then we had the extension talk, and then Dylan goes down. Now, Matt Rule has to really focus on being the coach to these guys instead of being that superstar that wants to be on podcasts and be on the Pat McAfee show and all that. I think he needs to really settle down and get these guys to playing football and be the coach that we hired him for. I'm not. He has to take some blame in some of the stuff that's going on here, because it's been going on, and now that we've ended the talk, you probably ended it last Friday, but hey, it's still lingering around to affect this team, I think, a little bit.
Well, and again, you had the extension last week, so that was a big story. So there's been kind of the stories around Matt Rule, certainly over the last 3 weeks. Maybe hasn't been good. I mean, I don't put too much of that blame in this USC game. I think that was done, like the extension right was done to prevent any, sort of sideshow going on. You can have your opinion one way or another about his podcast or the going out on Pat McAfee. I've said for years, I think he's a great speaker, a great representative of Nebraska. I like him talk as much as he can. Does that always mean in the season? Maybe not, but otherwise Nebraska's not going to be talked about on Pat McAfee. So, maybe it is a good thing. I don't put too much of the distraction on this loss. That Minnesota one's hard to argue much. I mean, one way or the other, he did not have that team ready to go that week. There were obviously loud voices talking about him to Penn State there. So that one I would definitely say maybe seemed to be more of a distraction than lately. But you're entitled to your own opinion. You absolutely can believe that if you feel like it's maybe taken away. I mean, there are things, again, in every game. These guys work tireless hours. I mean, it's crazy, and there's a vast amounts of importance, obviously, not just to Nebraska fans, but to them, their future families, their family, their kids, their future family, all that sort of stuff. So I don't doubt that he's putting as much work as he needs to into Nebraska football. But then there's always the games play out, and then you're saying, well, they could have had TJ Lateef a little bit more report, or they could have done this a little bit more. And so I think that's always something that he kind of leaves himself vulnerable by doing those things, to go out, to go out there and do those things, does lead himself vulnerable to it, to kind of those thoughts circulating in the Nebraska realm. But I don't know if I would blame that on why Nebraska came up short against the USC team. But I think part of this too, and why there is such frustration, not only that Nebraska had the opportunity, or again, led at halftime, got the lead again in the fourth quarter, but I don't think people were too blown away by USC. Credit to Nebraska.
They're not a playoff team.
Right. Credit to Nebraska for making them look that way again, and that was through the defensive side of the ball for Nebraska, especially holding the 6 points in the first half. It's but that were my thoughts, especially at that first quarter. They had a few 3-and-outs. Like, wow, this number one total offense just doesn't seem to pack a whole lot of punch to it. But Nebraska helped kind of make them look that way. But I think that's maybe more than what we're talking about is USC didn't seem to give Nebraska their best effort, and we're still able to come out here with a victory.
Yeah, I don't think they're a playoff team. I don't even think Michigan's a playoff team. But when I do say this, that if you see Michigan struggle with a Purdue team, I mean, when you seen the score of that game, I think that game was what? Hold on, let me get.
I think they only won by a touchdown.
Yeah, I think it probably less than a touchdown when you talk about that part, but they only won. Let's see. 21-16. That wasn't, I mean, when you look at that, Michigan's probably going to get, I don't know if they're going to be able to get that fourth spot.
Now Washington's in the top 25.
Now Washington can make a run for it, but you got to understand about it, it's only 3 games left this season.
Yeah.
You got to make a hellified jump to go from 25 to 12. And then you still have to think about the group of 6 teams that probably going to be Memphis, looking like it right now, but that's one hell of a jump you got to probably make because Michigan still has Ohio State. Oregon has to play Iowa. That's this weekend.
Yeah.
So, you look at that, you see, and I think the game for us to watch this week is Oregon versus Iowa. That game right there is going to be a big game to see if Iowa can hand them a defeat.
Well, and it's interesting, too, because Washington also has Oregon on their schedule there at the last game of the season. So Oregon still got some tests ahead of them. Iowa not even ranked. I don't know how, but they're not ranked. Washington did sneak into the rankings, as we're saying. They got Wisconsin this week, but that could be a game that maybe Washington, if you went out, you go 10-2 and beat Oregon, I think they're in. So, you got to look out for Washington there. However, when they have played against some of the better teams, Ohio State 24-6, Michigan 24-7. They've looked the part of why they've just entered the rankings. So it'll take a while to get there.
Don't it make you wonder how a team like Washington probably lost a lot of players when they coach left and went to Alabama, and this coach right here is now in year 2 of getting his team back right, that they're still probably in the hunt for making the playoffs?
Well, they could. I mean, they beat Illinois, which was a big victory, 42-25 last time out. They got into the rankings this week without having beaten anybody, right? They had the bye week. And part of it is just their schedule kind of opens up for them now. They beat Rutgers and Maryland and Washington State. I mean, outside of that Illinois game, they don't have the most impressive of victories. And in front of them, they've got Wisconsin, Purdue, and UCLA, winnable games right before that Oregon game. So a lot of it would just kind of come down to that Oregon game. But it's funny. In Nebraska football, it's been such a long time that we've seen teams improve by the end of the season. It's always kind of falling apart by this time. That can't happen. So maybe Washington does make that run. I'm still not convinced that the Big Ten is going to get 4 teams in. They've fought all offseason to get an automatic 4 bids, right? I mean, that's the whole idea behind it. But the resume, unless you get a major victory there at the end from one of these teams, I mean, maybe Iowa wins out or something. But if it's the expectation there of what we see happens is these teams kind of eating each other alive, and I don't see it. I just don't know if they get 4 teams in. USC, even who we're talking about, we framed the Nebraska game as a playoff eliminator, so they're still alive. They still have Iowa and Oregon left on their schedule. So
you're looking at the SEC probably getting 5 teams in this year, Bob, and that's one thing we fought to not do. In the ACC, they don't have any team in the top 15 right now when we talk about that part of it.
Well, every team we've looked at has Oregon left on their schedule, so I had to go and look at Oregon. So they've got at Iowa, Minnesota, USC, and at Washington. Again, they'll be favored in all those games, but I think the best chance for the Big Ten is either one of those 3 teams, Iowa, USC, or Washington, to get the upset over Oregon and take care of the rest of business. That would get you a 4th team in.
All right, Bach, let's go over our games, and so we can talk to Matt Rule. We can listen to Matt Rule the whole next couple of segments. But right now, let's go over our pick'em games over the weekend.
Yeah, so the pick'em this week went pretty well. Everybody was doing well. 7-3. I ended up landing on again. None of us picked Arizona State, so Jeff Sims threw us all off. You ended up 7-3, so another good weekend. I didn't make up any games on you. Kenny Wilhite went 7-3, so very good from the group here. But as usual, the text line had to do one better than everybody else. 8-2 for the text line. So congratulations to the text line.
They're cheaters.
You extend your lead somehow, one way or the other. The text line continues. They look like they're going for that championship belt this week. This year, I mean.
It's simple for them, Bach. You got 9 guys picking for them, and it's only one of us. So if we get one guy off the text line a week, that means we'll see something different. But when you got 8 guys we're picking against every week, Bach, makes things hard.
Well, it's whoever's the quickest trigger. Again, the text line is represented by whoever texted in.
They're only 2 games ahead of me, Bach. So that can be made up during bowl games. See, you know what? There's no outright champion until the season is over. There's no regular season pick'em champion. There's only one champ.
We'll go all the way to the playoffs.
That's it.
Yeah, the championship game of the playoffs.
You can win 100 games. You might. I mean, the way Kenny, if he would have started earlier, it'll be pretty good. But
he'd have been in there.
Yeah, he'd have been in there. But as the text line, Bill says I'm not a cheater, Blackshirt. Old Dad 34 said we dominate. Y'all are doing pretty good. But like I said, the more I can stay close to y'all, because you're only 2 games up on me. You're 68-37. I'm 66-39. So I'm not worried about 2 games. I'm going to show you a way how I can defeat y'all. And who did they pick this week? Who did they lose to, Bob?
See, I've got my paper for that in the other room. I do think that did you not pick UCF this week? I think you might have.
Went with UCF.
Yeah. Terrell picked UCF. If you followed that game along at home, Baylor ended up beating Central Florida 30-3. It was the first time since 2015 that UCF did not score a touchdown, snapping an 121-game streak. So obviously not a good look for Scott Frost. In fact, he went as far as to say that was as frustrating. Excuse me, I'll restate that. That was as frustrating of an offensive performance as I've been a part of. Scott Frost with as frustrating as an offensive performance as he's been a part of this past week against Baylor. You were still hanging on, hoping that he could get that win, but I think that's where maybe your biggest mistake.
I'm really disappointed in myself and not believing in Jeff Sims. I think that part of me really hurt me because I picked them one time and they won. So
yeah,
and not going. When you try to do something different, it throws you off on your pick'ems because you would never think that. I just seen the way Baylor was getting smacked around, and I thought maybe Scott could sneak one past them, and that kind of came back and bit me in the butt.
Of course, there are more interesting games too. We all picked Georgia. That's closer than what we maybe had thought it might be. Came down to the last quarter there in that game against Florida. Mississippi State did break their 16-game SEC losing streak by outlasting Arkansas. Another game we picked Arizona over Colorado. It's getting so bad in Colorado that Deion Sanders is saying he knows the answer, but he won't give it out. Also, is prevented any of his players from talking post game. I mean, that's how bad that one got. Utah and Cincinnati, not close. Cincinnati got destroyed. I picked Cincinnati. That was one of my losses on the week, on the year. I think it's just been kind of a fun story. Unfortunately, that story, I wouldn't say ended, but it got thumped a little bit by Utah.
Did you see the prices for BYU and Texas Tech?
Yeah, game of the year in the Big 12 this year.
$408.
Oh my goodness!
As low as $400.
That's to get in the bag, huh?
Yeah, that's to get up there by the light switch. All right, Bach. When we come back, we're gonna go to break right quick. And when we come back, we're gonna listen to Matt Rule presser and listen to some of those adjustments we're gonna try to make this week to go out to UCLA and get that victory in the Rose Bowl where Bach was at, where he took that jury at last time he was there. 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you tired of your usual barbershop experience? Stop into Scissors and Scotch today. I know what you're thinking. Drink during a haircut? Don't worry. First comes the precision cut from one of their experienced barbers, followed by your complimentary cocktail in their upscale lounge. Scissors and Scotch blends your old school barber feel with your favorite watering hole. And now you can earn $10 off by simply mentioning the ticket. And if you're an existing member, still mention the ticket for an exclusive offer. Offer valid at Lincoln location only. Scissors and Scotch, located just south of 30th and Yankee Hill, and online at lincoln.scissorscotch.com.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies and light winds, mapping high around 63. Tonight, increasing cloud cover, calm winds below around 43. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies with a light breeze. It'll be warm with a high near 71. I'm meteorologist Reflector for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's always a new experience to be had at Arbor Day Farm in Nebraska City. From events, adventures, wine tastings, or the Discovery Ride, you can never get tired of seeing what the property has to offer. Make a weekend out of it by staying at the Lead Lodge and enhance your stay with their special packages that include luxurious treatment. Learn more or book your adventure today online at arbordayfarm.org.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right, most recommended Eustace Body Shop.
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
From the chant of Husker power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. Bench the other guys and team up with the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers. Go Gig Red. Visit allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at Schweizo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
I can't believe I just scratched that car. Find my insurance card.
Dude, what do you have in this glove box? Ew, are these socks dirty?
Oh, forget about the socks. I need my insurance card.
Just pull it up on the State Farm mobile app.
But I can do that? Oh, hey, I can do that.
Yep, it's called service.
I can file a claim on here too?
Yeah, it's called service.
Whoa, I can call my agent too?
It's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krikak, today at 402-474-1173.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier power sports dealership. Score big with rebates up to $2,000 on the Kawasaki NAV, Kawasaki's first ever fully electric personal transportation vehicle designed for cruising the good life. Be the first to NAV your neighborhood. Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered all under one roof with a large selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, motorcycles, and personal watercraft at their 27th and I-80 location, where they can't wait to get you set up for football season.
You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to Bock and the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. We are on Monday through Friday from 1 to 3, and we are located at 1040 O Street. Never hesitate to call in. Bock, what's that text line number?
402-464-5685.
We are always welcome to take your call, but for right now, we will go to Matt Rule Presser. All right, Bock.
Yeah, plenty to play here from Matt Rule at the press conference today. Let's go ahead and start with talk about Dylan Raiola here and how long this injury will keep him out.
I don't want to start talking like I'm the doctor. I know what they told me. They said if it could be surgical, could be non-surgical. They said somewhere like 8 to 12 weeks, but I don't want to start getting into all that. But it is surgical. It was recommended surgery, so it's not like it's like a hey, battle your way through it type deal.
Yeah, again, if you don't know, and I'm not a doctor just like he isn't, but there are two bones that run vertically on your leg, and the fibula being one of them in the lower part of your leg, and that broke. So not going to be seeing Dylan Raiola for the rest of the season, as was reported on Sunday. Let's get to another injury that was definitely caught the eye of Husker Nation. Was Elijah Pritchett. Here's an update on his health.
He did some things last night. He battled through it. So I think this week will just come down to if he's ready to play or not. And Turner, Turner's beat up at this point. Tyler, they all are. Our bye weeks next week, but there's no time to even think about bye weeks right now. So I'm assuming that Elijah will get himself ready to play.
So probably going to be closer to a game time decision.
Yeah,
it sounds like.
Now they get 2 bye weeks a year.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, they need one. Is it going to be coming up after this?
That's football, Bock. You're gonna get beat up. You're gonna get banged up. That's the game of football. It's bound to happen. I mean, you have to fight through it and fight through adversities and everything. And it's one of the adversities we're gonna have to fight through with losing Dylan and trying to get TJ Lateef ready.
Yeah. Let's get to the offensive line's current depth.
So you got Elijah, Tyler, and Turner, and then the next up is Preston Tomua. So Preston's been repping at left tackle last couple of weeks, and when we were going to go some of our jumbo stuff, he was going to go in and play. So he's really developed. Grant Bricks would be at the right tackle, he'd be at the left tackle. So those guys they're coming along.
So there you have it. If forced into it, Preston Tomua and Grant Bricks might be forced into some playing time this year. Not ideal for the Huskers again, but as you said, that's football. That can definitely happen. Let's jump into a little bit more. You said about preparing TJ Lateef. That is a lot of what this press conference was about as well. Preparing TJ Lateef for the game.
Well, I think he's really smart. So he was always on time, always knows the progressions, always knows the checks. So you can trust him in those things. He's got amazing arm talent. He can spin it, and he can run. He can move. So I think when you're playing, young players, Pat Stewart had mentioned this to me like a couple weeks ago, just in the NFL. One of the guys he was with the Patriots with had said, if you want to draft a quarterback and play him young, he better be able to run because the game goes fast and you have to move. Even in the game the other day, you saw TJ was able to run some zone read RPO plays. The guy wasn't open. He was able to run. He was able to run on some plays. And so I think he was able to just kind of bring a little bit of all that to light. And so, this week to me is not about TJ, at least my message to our guys. It's about everyone else making this where every single person has to do their job at such a high level that TJ can just do his job and not try to do anything more. But TJ can do his job. He's an excellent player, and I think everyone's going to see him play really, really well.
There's one comment there on getting TJ Lateef ready for the upcoming game. There's, again, some more thoughts of surrounding TJ Lateef, particularly about going back home. Here's TJ Lateef, or here's Matt Rule on TJ Lateef and some of the other California kids they have going back to play at the Rose Bowl.
I think we have, is it 6 guys, excuse me, going back home, to California, which I think is cool. And I think California is an area we want to continue to recruit. USC, we were before the game, we had a bunch of kids from California. USC's coaches were kind of creeping over to them. I told them, get away from the guys. I mean, good for them. Those are great guys on that coaching staff. I don't mean that in any way other than just being funny. But I think it's going to be exciting for TJ. One of the things that has impressed me the most about him since he's been here is just his humility. He's just one of the guys. He's just a great young man. I mean, he gets good grades. He's never on a list. He's never in trouble. His family's awesome. And so, I coached him on Sunday like he was a veteran. I mean, I showed the opportunities we could have had. Hey, if you do this, because I want him to know that I have so much confidence in him that I'm going to coach him like Dylan. And, Sam asked a great question after the game where he said, hey, maybe could you guys have taken a couple more shots? Well, they were called, and sometimes they were there. And whether it was protection, whether it was he ran instead. And so TJ's our starting quarterback now, and he's a starting quarterback in Nebraska. So when I talk about people respecting us nationally, it's part of that is us too. Like he's got to go play the way guys play. And I can't wait to see him play. I mean, for me, that's why I talked about this time for us. Like, okay, Matt, like you think you're a good coach. Okay, Dana, you think you're a good coach. Now go do this. Go win these games. Go take a freshman on the road twice and come back and play your rival. And that's, either our team, like I said, they either go like this or they come together like this. And so like either you're with us or you're not. And that's everywhere. I mean, either you're with us or you're not. And so what I've seen is our guys all be with us, and I love it. They're coming together. They're rallying around him. And it would just be so average, Mitch, to like go out there and be like, well, we got a freshman quarterback and it is what it is. Like, no, we're not doing that. We got TJ Lateef, and we're going to rally around him.
Yeah, that's good thing. That's great talk. We have to rally around this guy. We have to get him ready. We have to understand that this is his team now. This is his moment. But no better way you can say it, that this is TJ Lateef time to shine. It's time for him to go out there and prove who he is and why he came to the University of Nebraska. For me, Bock, is kind of different when you say that, because you're putting him on display. I don't know if this young man will sit behind Dylan for another 2 years. It's hard to say. I mean, we're in a no-win situation when we talk about this part right here, because if he's good, he's good. If he doesn't have it, it'll show. But from what we've seen, he has it, Bock, and this might be a showcase for him to you know what I'm saying, Bock? I don't want to say it, but we have to talk about it though.
Well, I mean, it's out there again. Like you said, you've got Dylan Raiola projected at least to come back for at least another year, which is fascinating. How quickly a career can go by, right? But we'll see. Yeah, I mean, he's going to have the opportunity in his final 3 games if he plays really well. There's probably going to be plenty of teams out there that say that looks like a starting quarterback we could bring in with some NIL money. But that's again part of the game you play. You can't try to win. I mean, right now you can't really care about 2027 or 2028. You have to care about the kid. You have to think about him as far as the red shirt and all that stuff goes. But you got to try to win the games now, or you won't be here in 2027 and 2028, as we know. So. Yeah, I mean, there's a bit of that reality that's going to come there. But I would urge any Husker fan to go ahead and cheer for him to look as good as he can, because obviously you want more of those options. The better he does, the better Nebraska as a program can kind of try to reposition itself on the map, right? But yeah, I mean, if they come out here and win 3 games with him, and Nebraska finishes 9-3, he's going to field some calls. So it's again, it's just part of the reality of playing anybody these days. But they are rallying around TJ Lateef. I think we've got one final clip on that.
Hold on, I want to read this one right quick, Bob. Bill and Bennett says, do you think the team will play any harder for TJ than they did for Dylan? I think the team play hard for themselves. I mean, I don't think that a quarterback is who you play hard for.
Yeah.
You play hard for your coaches. You play hard for your other teammates. I played harder for Christian Peters than I did for Tommy Frazier. So this isn't about quarterback situation. This is about how hard this team wants to play anyway. You know, like it's just.
And I mean, from the outside looking in, I don't know. I'm not a part of the locker room. From the outside looking in, maybe you could question that if there was like some sort of uprising against Raiola or something. But he's their captain. He leads them out on the field. He walked around with a broken fibula after the game was congratulating guys coming off like the field goal unit. I mean, he is a great leader from what we can see from the outside. So I don't expect anything.
How many do we have any other leaders on this team? Because if you're only led by one guy, how are you going to be a team? You got to have more than one leader, Bob.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be several leaders on a team. You just can't put all your faith in one guy and post, okay, this is who's going to do. No, it has to be a couple of guys on offense, a couple of guys on defense that needs to band together because it's 4 captains on this team, not just one.
Yeah.
And so that's the bad part of it, that these guys got to learn how to play, period, hard football for whoever out there.
Yeah. I mean, there should be no extra motivation needed to give it your all while you're out there. I mean, especially these days with the financial results that could come your way, be loafing it for one way or the other. Again, we do have one final clip here on TJ Lateef and preparing him. Then, I mean, we still got some interesting clips from Matt Rule on UCLA, the upcoming opponent, but also an interesting clip on the timeout that was called, the first timeout on the critical 4th down drive. So here's the Matt Rule talking about TJ Lateef before we get to those.
I know for me this week, I'm going to do the best job I can for TJ Lateef, because leaders insert themselves in the point of friction and try to take stress off. And I know Sierra Wright, and I know Javen, and I know Deshaun, and I know Rocco and all those guys. Every single person in our organization is going to try to do a little bit more so that TJ Lateef can be successful. And I think we could be like an average team and just go out there and be disappointed, that we lost last week and have a bad week, or we could come together and unite. And so I told our guys, either you're in or you're out, and they've all said that they're in. And I would say that to everybody. It's going to take every single one of us, but people nationally will never respect us until we respect ourselves. And I'm talking about our conference, the decisions that they make. I'm talking about the national media. I'm talking about fans. I'm talking about recruits. We have to, in my opinion, at this time, come together and absolutely continue to sow seeds that will manifest themselves in the future. So I wanted my team to hear that. I believe 100% in TJ and what he's going to get done. And we're going to put a great game plan together for him. I hate it for Dylan. I love Dylan. If anyone says anything about Dylan, just know this. The kid had a broken leg and he was warming up and begging me to play. That's all you got to know about that kid to know who he is. I got home that night. I didn't know when I was sitting here with you guys. I thought he had an ankle sprain. When I got home, and literally my daughter was the first person to tell me, because I go one way and my daughters were walking through, and they found out as he found out in the training room, and the doctor called me to tell me what character, what toughness. And I'm very grateful for him. Grateful for like the O-linemen who, haven't gotten reps at tackle, and also they have to go out. Tyler has to go out and play tackle. So we'll come together as a team this week. Sorry for that being so long, but I thought I needed to at least address the positives from Saturday.
So there you have it. You kind of hear again about, questioning Dylan Raiola's toughness and his leadership is probably, it falls on deaf ears right now because of what he was able to show, again, going through this injury. But again, there's some interesting things. I wanted to get to this. What happened on the first timeout called in the critical 4th down drive? A lot of people want to know. It looked like perhaps, Corcoran had been pushed after the whistle. He was doing some pushing after the whistle, then the retaliation. Usually the retaliation gets flagged. It did not here. A lot of people are wondering, was he just arguing with the refs and he had extra time that rarely produces a good result? It wasn't gonna work. So what happened with that first timeout?
We had decided that we were going to come out and we thought we could make them jump. You know what I'm saying? So we said, hey, we're going to go out there. We're going to do it. We're going to try to make them jump. And they didn't jump. And so I didn't want to take the 5-yard penalty and punt it. I said, hey, we're probably going to go for this. And then just, reps and things that TJ had done and all those different things. It just felt like as they were talking, I just felt like, you know what, take the points here. Was that the right call? Well, it didn't go through the uprights, right? So, I said in front of the team yesterday, I said, hey, I have to own that I made that call and I made that decision. But, we go in the game with one plan on 4th and 1 in those sort of areas. And then as the injury happened and just, hey, what does TJ have reps in? What does he not have reps in? I just made the call at, hey, you know what, we're going to go with this. And so
obviously that was the him actually commenting on the second timeout of that drive. But I believe this is the clip, and there you have it on why I did that.
Before we go to break, I don't know. Let's go to break, and then
I got one more here.
Okay.
Because I was just trying to pay off. I've clicked on the wrong one, or we got the wrong one listed here. The thoughts on the rust would pump up the clock on the timeout issues. I believe this was that first timeout of the second half.
Well, no, that had nothing to do with the refs. I thought they should have pumped the clock, right? Because they had shut one of our players down. There was some stuff going on. I just thought they'd pump the clock. And so, getting the play call in, he's using the wristband, getting it out, all those different things, them all being lined up. And so I was yelling at the ref to pump it. Like they pump it. They whatever, doesn't matter. They pump it most of the time, and they didn't pump it. And I'm sitting there. So then he got the snap off in time. So again, I have to own that. I just didn't want to take. I thought we were in good position, and with him on the plus side of 50, I said, I'm going to use this timeout. I'm gonna just settle it all down. At the end of the day, I hate using timeouts. I usually just take the penalty. At the end, I don't know that the penalties hurt us because we still had the ball with a chance to go in, and but it still wasn't what I would have liked. But sometimes when you guys ask me those questions, I'd have to start throwing people under the bus. Well, this guy didn't get this, and I don't really want to do that. So I'd rather just say it's me. But as we sit here now, it's just really like the clock, and I thought the official was going to pump it, and when he did, and I started yelling at him, they had just knocked one of our guys down, and there was an altercation. Like, well, let's just pump it and play football. So
there you go. Kind of a few answers there within that answer. Sound like maybe a little bit of miscommunication as well, leading to that first timeout. But we can get to break now. I know you're working on something, Terrell, over there for our return.
I got a question. It has something to do with my man here. So we're going to talk about that. Somebody put a text in. It's about time to end this squash. 93.7 The Ticket. We'll be right back.
Here at Aspen Builders, our company is building more homes today than I thought we would ever build.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
I am just shocked at how strong our market is here in Lincoln and at Aspen Builders. We're probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
I can't believe I just scratched that card. Find my insurance card.
Dude, what do you have in this glove box? Ew, are these socks dirty?
Oh, forget about the socks. I need my insurance card.
Just pull it up on the State Farm mobile app.
But I can do that? Oh, hey, I can do that.
Yep, it's called service.
I can file a claim on here too?
Yeah, it's called service.
Whoa, I can call my agent too?
It's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krikak, today at 402-474-1173.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Fall is here, and so are cooler temps, darker evenings, and slick roads. Is your vehicle ready for the change in seasons? At A1 Automotive, we've got you covered. From tire checks, brake inspections, batteries, and heater systems, we make sure your car is road ready for the Nebraska winters ahead. Don't wait until the first frost. Schedule your fall car care checkup today and drive with confidence all season long. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop!
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
From the chant of Husker Power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. Bench the other guys and team up with the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers. Go Gig Red. Visit allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
Are you tired of your usual barbershop experience? Stop into Scissors and Scotch today. I know what you're thinking. Drink during a haircut? Don't worry. First comes the precision cut from one of their experienced barbers, followed by your complimentary cocktail in their upscale lounge. Scissors and Scotch blends your old school barber feel with your favorite watering hole. And now you can earn $10 off by simply mentioning the ticket. And if you're an existing member, still mention the ticket for an exclusive offer. Offer valid at Lincoln location only. Scissors and Scotch, located just south of 30th and Yankee Hill, and online at lincoln.scissorscotch.com.
Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schweizo.com. That's schwissow.com.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
All right. You ready, Buck?
I'm ready.
Turn it down, so. Bada Bean says, I heard there's a beef going on between former Blackshirt Michael Rose Ivory and current talking head Jake Sorensen. Can the ticket set up a celebrity boxing match? If so, who you taking? Well, I'm going to take Jake Sorensen's side anyway.
I don't know about the boxing match, but
Don't care about the boxing match.
Yeah.
As a football player, people have to understand that even though you're a football player, you're not right sometimes. I seen Michael Rose Ivory play. I leave it at that part when I say that. People have opinions. I've stopped Rashawn sometimes because his inaccuracy to tell me what a linebacker is supposed to do. Just because you train a guy doesn't make you a pro at being a linebacker. People need to realize that other people are entitled to their opinion. Jake watches the game. He's a great broadcaster. He does things the right way. I think just because we see ourselves as football players, it makes us better than a lot of people, which it doesn't. It makes us more knowledgeable than some people, which it doesn't. It's coaches that are head coaches in places that haven't played football. You know what I'm saying, Buck? So it's people that assistant coaches, GMs that haven't played football. So you got to take point that this isn't about a football player knowing more than a guy who talks football every day. You can reverse the role any kind of way you want to, but sometimes a football player is not right. That's the part I'm trying to say. You know, I mean,
and it's not like Jake Sorensen was trying to break down, which route would work against this, cover three. He was just kind of making a bland, I don't want to say bland, a general statement about Nebraska football and coming up short in losses. I mean, in my opinion on this is, and everybody's got their own. I think there is a place. There's a reason why you go to the sideline report. You get into these conversations. There's a reason why you ask people that have done it. But there's also quite a lot of opinions about the president of the United States from people that haven't been the president of the United States. And guess what? You're given a vote. You can vote on it. You're like, it's legally built into our system that you get an opinion on it. So, I mean, I think gatekeeping facts is a good way to go about things, because facts are facts. Some things kind of, are more black or more gray than black and white. And that's where you can have debates. Gatekeeping opinions, probably never going to come out with the best outcome there.
Well,
so I welcome all opinions.
Well, you can make it clear. I mean, if I had to go against I could tell a person playing style that there'll never be a better coach than me. You know what I'm saying? I could tell a person playing style that, hey, when you played at Nebraska, I watched you. You know what I'm saying, Bock? I watched you. Now, I didn't break down your game tape. I didn't break down your what you did wrong. I just said you played linebacker here. So I'm not going to get in between this stuff. I'm going to stick with my man Jake Sorensen, who just talk football, not trying to. We don't make Twitter wars with football players just to make them wrong. I mean, if you see something that you can point out to make it, and he says, "Oh, just because I play football, I know more than you." That's not true. I mean, like somebody just said, John Cook never played women's college volleyball.
Yeah,
he's a coach.
Turned out to be a pretty good one.
A damn good one. I like this one right here. John Brady. Do you think the leadership is self-deflicted? They have individualized Dylan coming out of the tunnel alone, leading the Husker walk from the bus 30 yards ahead of the team. All the eggs in one basket. That's something the head coach should have been addressed and said that. I mean, like I said, when I've played with a great quarterback. I watched this guy come out last. I watched this guy come out. We came out together. Tommy wanted to come out last. I came out with him because I think all the soldiers always come out last. The battle troops come out last, Bob. Only the showboats want to come out first. The battlemen come out last, Bob.
Well, I mean, again, in differing opinions, again, we welcome opinions. In my opinion, he might have, part of his idea of coming here was that as a quarterback, if you want to make it at the top level, you're going to have to be a leader. So maybe he asked or said when he came in, I want to be a leader.
Well, I didn't know the part of him coming 30 yards out the bus like that. That's I don't know. I still say there's no I in team. So, all right, Bill and Bennett says, Jake Sorensen is a Miami Dolphins fan, so I will cut him some slack on that one. Jake's my man. I stick with Jake Sorensen to the end. If anybody want to battle him, you got to battle me. So think about it twice before you do it. This is the Black Shirt of Bock the Blackshirt, and we're out. 93.7 The Ticket. We'll see you tomorrow.
Fall is here. Fall is here, and so are cooler temps, darker evenings, and slick roads. Is your vehicle ready for the change in seasons? At A1 Automotive, we've got you covered. From tire checks, brake inspections, batteries, and heater systems, we make sure your car is road ready for the Nebraska winters ahead. Don't wait until the first frost. Schedule your fall car care checkup today and drive with confidence all season long. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies and light winds, snapping high around 63.